we decided on Marion because, like I said, we live here. Kids are growing up here. What's the best way to, see our kids having a better future is being able to open up a business and that business giving back to the community and making the community better.
This is the Main Street Reimagined podcast, a show for people ready to turn visions into realities and ideas into businesses. Hey, I'm Luke Henry, and each week I lead conversations with Main Street dreamers who took the leap to launch a business, renovate a building, or start a movement. Their ideas, their mindsets, and their inspirations, as well as some of the highs and lows along the way. This is a place for dreamers, creators, developers, and entrepreneurs to learn, share, and be inspired to change your community through small business. Enjoy the show. Hey friends, Luke Henry here. This is the Main Street Reimagined podcast. Thanks for being with us. This week, I am very excited to have you back and be doing another interview with a Main Street dreamer, a Main Street doer. And today I have the owner of Taco Central restaurant here in Downtown Marion, Alvaro Aguirre.
Yes, sir.
I botched that a little bit. He said I can call him the Americanized version, which is Alguire
Yes,
or
sir.
whatever. But Al Alvaro here, we have gotten to know each other a little bit through his time here in Downtown Marion. I've been a relatively frequent taco eating flyer there at Taco Central. And so if folks are local and they haven't been in, or if they're not from here and they don't know what Taco Central is, because there's only one and it's only in Downtown Marion.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tell them a little bit of what they might find there.
Okay, so Taco Central is not your normal Mexican restaurant. We try to emphasize that in the full name of the restaurant, which is called Taco Central Sports Bar, Burgers, Wings, and More. We have we have different flavored wings. We have the Diablo wings. We have the Chile Verde wings. We also have some Mexican burgers like the Milanesa burger, but we also have your traditional Americano burger, which is like a burger you would get at I don't want to say McDonald's because we put a lot of
They're a lot better than that for sure.
we put a lot of quality and heart and soul into them. So, but yeah, I mean your traditional burger, I guess that's what something like that. So yeah, I mean we try to be different by also having, I know your traditional restaurant, offers rice and beans for pretty much every side, or like a salad. No, we have waffle fries. We do have rice and beans, but we try to switch it up. Show like a Mexican American feel. That's what we were trying to go for. I mean, when you walk in there, you're not going to hear mariachi. Maybe you will, but you're going to hear a lot of more of country and, pop and all that type of stuff. So, yep, that's what Taco Central is. So if you haven't tried us, I mean, come give us a chance. Let us know what you think. Be honest. We're not scared to hear the truth. We're 6 months in, so we know that there's still a lot of little things that we need to fix, but so far, I mean, I think that we're getting close to, I wouldn't say perfect because I don't think that will ever be, but close to it. So,
Yeah. We've had great experiences at Taco Central, and the food has been great, and so many of our friends have been and also had really great experiences, dine in, carry out. And speaking of which, if you're not watching on YouTube, you're missing out because I was very fortunate. Al showed up with margaritas and tacos for this interview. And so that is a first. And I am very appreciative. And so I'm going to be well fed and cooled off a little bit. It's 85 degrees outside. So this frozen margarita is looking mighty good. Yep. And so thank you for that.
No
First
problem.
and foremost.
No problem. I mean, I've never done a podcast before, and when I do things like Taco Central, I like to do a little bit different because, that's just me. I don't want to be the normal guy.
Yeah.
I want to be the guy that's different,
Yeah.
in every aspect. So,
Yeah, I love that. And so we're going to kind of get into your story a little bit, but just in the conversations we've already had, I know that, like you love cooking, food is kind of your love language, if you will.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so I appreciate that very friendly gesture. So with that, so that I have a little bit of time to eat tacos, why don't you tell a little bit of your story? So kind of, to starting a childhood and what really led you through this. I know you've got a background in restaurants. Like tell us the story
Okay.
here.
All right. Well, first of all, salud with the
Salud.
margarita so we can relax. All right. So, pretty much all my family has been in the Mexican restaurant business. My grandpa was one of the first ones to open one down in Roanoke, Virginia in 1986. From there, obviously, all my uncles on my mom's side, started opening up the restaurants, you know, being in the, Mexican family. As soon as you can take chips and salsa to the table, I mean, it doesn't matter, 9, 10, you're there helping, bringing the family along and, trying to help the family out. So, that's how I got in it. My parents opened up a few restaurants down in North Carolina and, they were successful. So I, was fortunate to be there and help out in any way I could, learned a lot. I started working in the kitchen like when I was 17, around there, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with you can't lie in the kitchen. Like if you don't know how to cook, you don't know how to cook.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. That you can't lie. Like you make something. Me personally, I feel that you show people if you like it or not because the love and the detail that you put into a meal, shows. I feel that with Taco Central, that's been happening, which, that's, I'm very appreciative of everybody that, says, oh, Taco Central, really good food, really good that. I, it's a cool thing to hear because of all the hard work that's behind the scenes.
Right.
Because, let's say, for example, the tacos that I brought to you today.
Yep. Tell us about those.
So these tacos are cheesy tacos. That's a new thing that we have going on.
So there's a double
Layered corn
tortilla.
Yeah, we put some cheese in the middle, let it melt.
Got
You
it.
get to choose whatever meat you want. It has salsa, it has cilantro, onion, lime, but somebody had to cut that cilantro, somebody had to cut that onion, somebody had to make that salsa. Those limes don't, so it's a
Yep.
big process that goes behind it. And as you can see, I mean, the limes we try to cut them like, to perfection. Like they're not like halfway or smushed or old limes.
Yeah.
So all that takes a lot, but yeah. So I mean, that's what I love about the kitchen. That's how I learned with my family's restaurants, especially nowadays. There's a lot of Mexican restaurants around.
Right.
So to survive right now in this industry, I mean, you have to care about what you're putting out there, and you have to also think about the community and what they like and try to help. I mean, ever since we opened up Taco Central, the first post that I told the community, if we receive your backing and if you guys support us, we can't wait to be able to give back. So yeah, Taco Central, we try to give back. I mean, there's one thing going on right now. Sundays, kids eat free with every adult meal.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know the summertime. You have your kids all day. I have a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I mean that fridge with that milk and those vegetables and all those fruits. I mean that goes by pretty fast. So I mean I can imagine when they're all growing up. So we try to help here and there. Maybe right now it's not a lot, but hopefully if we continue with the support that we're getting, hopefully we can contribute more to the community. And yeah, that's what we're looking forward to do. And what else? What
Yeah,
else?
yeah. So you grew up in Virginia. How did you ultimately land in Marion?
So, well, my grandpa opened the first restaurant in Virginia. My parents, they were in California. They actually worked in the fields, like picking strawberries and all that stuff. And then from there, when my grandpa started opening, I mean, he told my mom about it. My parents came all the way across the country to Virginia. Tried it out. They did good. They opened like 4 or 5 of them, and yeah, I mean they changed their life around. And seeing how do I say, seeing something like that where people that didn't even talk the language and being able to do what they did here, that's what gives me the confidence that I grew up here, I speak the language. So I've seen people go from not having anything to being able to afford, I mean, not whatever they want, but providing a good life for their kids. So
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So your parents moved to Virginia to be part of this restaurant, and I mean, then it was one led to another, led to another, led to another, and and so I mean, literally, they were working in those restaurants, and then by default, you were working in those restaurants.
Yes, because for anybody out there, it's not easy opening up a restaurant, guys.
No. Yes,
the back. What happens in the back and what happens after work and before to provide you good service and good food, man, it's a lot of hours. But if you like it, that's when that comes in handy, because if you don't like it and you're putting all those hours in, I mean, you're not going to make it. Oh, that's how it is.
So, I mean, I have to imagine, like you said, as soon as you could do anything, whether it's running chips and salsa or mopping floors or cleaning bathrooms.
Or up in the register.
Yeah.
They put me up in the register at age 13. I had a little chair and I was there in the register, cashing out people. So,
yeah. So, I mean, it's just being there. It's learning on the job. I mean, I assume there's no formal, kitchen training or anything. It's just sort of apprenticeship, essentially, where you're watching over their shoulder, and then one of the day they hand you the knife or hand you the spatula and say, "Okay, your turn.
Yep.
Do it."
And you go in there shaking and like, "Oh man, what's this for? What's this for?" But you start learning like everything else. I mean, practice makes perfect, and either you like it and you keep on doing it, or you don't, and you just find whatever else suits you or you want to do. So the restaurant business, I grew up in it. It's hard, but I love it. It's my thing. Hopefully, Taco Central can become part of the community, a staple for Marion, and we can help out as much as possible to our town. I mean, that's our goal, to be able to put back into the community, because we have kids that are growing up here, and that's very important. So.
It is. I mean, I think that's a thread that a lot of the people that are local here that we've interviewed, and really, my own story is the same. When we love our community and we want to raise our family here, we have to do our part to make it the kind of community we want it to be.
Exactly.
And so, so I'm really interested. We have this, what we call the LEAP segment, where we like to talk about that moment in time where this went from an idea to actually becoming a reality. And so, I don't think you mentioned it yet, but your wife and your brother-in-law are also have been involved through this whole process. But
shout out to Emanuel Mata and Brenda Mata.
Yes. So tell us about, when did the conversations about a restaurant like this kind of start, and what was the process to get you to where we are today?
So I had a food trailer. Some people know that, called
Okay.
La Delicia. I went everywhere. I mean, I was in Columbus, all the fairs, everything. But a food trailer is a little bit harder because you have to have a central kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
but usually the kitchens you work in, there's already a restaurant there. So it's very tough to, have the things that you need. But I was doing very well with that food trailer. So I was kind of selling the same thing that we're selling at Taco Central. There's a few things that I wasn't, but, my wife, I mean, she backed me up. I was like, hey, I was like, I think I want a restaurant because this food trailer stuff is really hard. Like, I mean, I'm the type of guy that I love a clean kitchen. I love a clean trailer. I was pulling the trailer with my truck. My truck had to be clean. So all that and having fresh food was just, you know, crazy
Yeah,
work.
it's a lot to keep up on.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I was like, why don't we check this place out that we saw on Facebook, which is 142 North Main Street. I was like, it's going up for lease. I was like, why don't we look at it, see what it has, see how much investment it, cost to open it or whatever. And then, just see what happens, And so we contacted James and Lily, and they showed us the place. And then what really got us was they told us about the downtown Marion renovation and everything that was, going to happen or, was in the works. And like I said, being from Marion, we're like, you know what? That sounds pretty cool. We want to be part of it, So, we gave them our idea. And we're like, okay, well, we're trying to open up like this Mexican American type of deal, blah, blah, this and that. They loved the idea. And that's why we're like, all right, well, where's the papers? Let's sign this thing and let's do it. Let's see what happens. And so far, I mean, we've been blessed. We can't complain. And that's how Taco Central came out. I mean, that's where we're at now. So, yeah.
So you, I mean, was it, kind of that simple? Like you were, you looked and you were sold, or was there any kind of hesitation or?
There's always hesitation, because, I mean, we're starters in a business where if you go talk to any investors, and you tell them, well, I'm going to open up a restaurant, they're going to be like, man, you damn fool, like that's like the least thing you should be, investing in. Right. But we know the business and we know it's hard and all that. So there is always hesitation because you never know, and especially with a new concept like that we brought in.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was scary, but like they say, if you don't, risk, you don't get a reward. So yeah, we thought about it, and then there was another place in that we were looking at in Delaware, downtown Delaware. But what we wanted to do at the end was just, we decided on Marion because, like I said, we live here, kids are growing up here. What's the best way to, see our kids having a better future is being able to open up a business and that business giving back to the community and making the community better. It's a long process, but hey, I mean, if you don't start somewhere, then, it's always going to be the same. So,
yeah. So did you continue doing the food truck
no.
up until, I mean, when did you stop that? I mean,
as soon as my wife said, let's do it, I sold that thing and I was like, let's go. Yep. I mean, we didn't have too much money to invest, so that food trailer, I mean, it brought in, a good amount to where, we could buy at least, 4 more tables than what they had in there. So, yeah, and yeah, I mean, with the help of that, with the help of my mother-in-law, it's just people believing in you. That's Taco Central,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it became. I mean,
you guys were in there. I mean, you did a lot of the painting, the renovations. I mean, I stopped in the one time, and I mean, you guys were you were all painting, and the kids were running around.
Yep.
So yeah,
family business.
It just started.
That's what it is.
Exactly like that, right?
Yep. We pretty much did all the work. the investment money that we had. I mean, there's a lot of big things that go into a liquor license. I don't know if people know, but those things are very expensive. But you need it, because I mean, obviously we wanted to have margaritas. So that right there, I mean, you have to have lawyers, to do paperwork. Those guys are not cheap either. Little things like that. So, I mean, you have to, be able to, if you don't know, I mean, there's always YouTube out there, YouTube University, like they call it, and, that's what we did. We learned a lot of things and we did it ourselves, what we couldn't do. I mean, we hired professionals, but I mean, it wasn't too many. It was pretty much us doing, what we learned or what we needed to do and, try to learn from, watching videos or whatever. But yeah, I mean, we did all the painting. We did all the kitchen. I mean, we renovated the kitchen. I mean, because we knew that one thing that we like to do is show off our clean kitchen. That's why you've been there.
Yeah,
There's no door in the kitchen.
I've seen those Facebook posts as well.
Yeah, we love it because we want people to know, we're clean, we're fresh, we're not the cheapest, but you're not going to leave hungry and you're getting your money's worth with the quality of food that we are bringing in. Because I feel that we are one of the freshest restaurants here in Marion. So, I mean, yep. So that's.
So from the food standpoint, I mean, let's talk about, there's a lot of people out there, as you said, that maybe had a dream of doing a restaurant and they like to cook, or they have these things that they've created at home or that they've made, and then they want to do a food truck or they want to do a restaurant. Talk about that process from like creating something and you liking it and you serving it to others and them liking it to, how do you make that's actually something that you can produce with consistency and what to charge for it and all of that. There's a lot more that a lot of people don't think through when they think, I want to have a food truck or I want to have a restaurant. Tell us about that.
So the first thing is you have to be ready to give a lot of your time to that restaurant or food truck. It takes a lot of time for you to make sure that everything is working properly, because it's not about you just having the idea. It's about you showing 12 or 13 people, which is your staff, on how to, put that idea out there for your customers.
Right.
So you're in there, you're the first one in and you're the last one out. That's for sure. So, I mean, it takes a long process to make sure, like, all the recipes that are at Taco Central, they're my recipes, and they're recipes that, like, the birria is my mom's recipe, right? It doesn't get more authentic than that. But just to showcase that to my cooks and tell them how important it is to put every single little ingredient, because sometimes they're like, oh, well, we don't have, or we ran out of this to put into this thing. Oh, well, let's go get it. Don't be like, oh, no, well, we don't have it, so let's just cook it like that, Right. Consistency is the key.
So critical.
So, I mean, that right there alone, you have to be ready, because you're working with 12 minds that are different. Some are more mature than others. That's another thing. I mean, it's a lot of work that you have to do. But like I said, if you can picture yourself at the end and putting all those hours in, there is a good reward for you waiting at the end. I've seen it with my family, like, that's probably one of the things where I risked what I risked, because I've seen that people have done it and they have gained reward from it, and it's not just financially, it's, like a pride situation where,
Sure.
I thought about this, I put this out there, we're blessed with, the community receiving it. I mean, it's mind blowing that, you have an idea and then you go for it and then it starts working, but it's a lot of time. It's a lot of money. So yeah, if anybody wants to do, you have to make sure that you're 100% in, like no doubts, no maybe this and that. There's days where your body's going to be hurting, you're going to be aching, but you got to step into that shower, motivate yourself, listen to some motivational quotes and videos on YouTube or something, and go out there and do your thing and keep on dreaming. And yeah, because another thing, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe in you.
That's right.
So that's very, very important. I mean, like I said, I've been in this industry for years, so I kind of know what's coming at me or knew what could happen. So, I mean, maybe that's why it's easier for me, and I really love this. So, yeah, but if you're out there and you're thinking about opening up something, I mean, don't doubt yourself, because if you doubt yourself, other people are going to doubt you, and it just gets harder from there. Because there is a lot of people that are going to tell you that your idea is crazy. They're going to tell you how much money you can lose. They're going to tell you like the worst of the worst, But if you have confidence in yourself, and you put that confidence out there in your food, and the quality. I mean, every little aspect counts. Your logo, your logo has to be nice. The font in your logo. I mean, it comes down to the T of, you have to have everything visualized, and you have to, put yourself at the end of that vision you had, and be confident that's going to work, because there is a lot of negatives. I mean, there's more negatives than there is positives. Just so I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I'm just being real, because I've seen people going and opening up a restaurant because they thought it was easy, and a year later, some of them, like, they have gray hairs all over, and they're all looking beat up, and like at the restaurant, I'm ready. If I don't have a dishwasher, I'm ready to wash dishes. If I don't have a cook, I'm ready to cook. If I don't have a server, I'm ready to serve. So I mean, good thing I've been blessed with some really good employees, but I haven't had to do that. But in the past, I've had to do every single thing in that restaurant. I tell my wife, I call myself the those knives that have like a bunch of
like a Swiss Army knife.
Yes,
Yeah.
of a Mexican restaurant. That's what I tell her. I'm a Swiss knife of a Mexican restaurant, because I can handle from end to end. And I mean, but it's because I like it. I've learned, I have had times where I didn't know too much about certain ways to cook things, and the guy that did, had a better opportunity, or went and did his own thing. But it's, you go in there, you love it, you already kind of have the idea of how to do it, so you go try it out. And I mean, maybe the first batch ain't gonna come out too good, but the third or fourth or fifth one, I mean, if you do it with love, and because you want to do it, I mean, you'll be okay. So
yeah. So an often recurring theme that I've heard from a lot of folks that have come on the podcast and told their story is the importance of a supportive spouse.
Oh yes.
And family.
Yes.
Talk about that. So your wife also grew up in restaurants, right?
Yep.
And has worked in Mexican restaurants for, I mean, most of or all of her career.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, honestly, she is. I mean, if you're ever going to open up a restaurant and Brenda's on your team, you're 90% there, because she has learned a lot with her own family and having restaurants that, she brings that, all that, let's say, like communicating with people, opening up accounts, making sure you're not getting charged for, more towels than you ordered, or they didn't send the wrong order. If they did, it's a lot of little things that, make the business harder. Because when you first open, everybody wants your money. And by everybody, I mean like you have to have, towels to clean. You have to have like soap dispensers, mats. You have to have beer. You have to have like the people that bring the produce or all your inventory. So they're all fighting for you. They're all like, hey, and they promise you the stars, but once you're in it, that thing that they promise you, I mean, that's not there. You call them, they don't answer, and then if they do, they're mad because you have a complaint about, you just charged me this much. But being a small business and being a startup, every single penny counts, So if somebody is charging you more for something, I mean, that's where Brenda comes in. She's always on top of it. Bam, she calls, and I mean, she's not afraid to, talk to you and tell you, hey, we're getting screwed over by this and this and that, and so that's always a good person to have because that's less stress on me because, like I said, I have 12 people that I have to make sure that are doing the right thing, and like, I mean, it's not easy. So Brenda has a lot of knowledge in the Mexican restaurant industry, and I'm grateful that she's on my team.
Yeah. So, I mean, and not just that, but also the emotional support that you guys can kind of have for each other. How do you manage, and how have you worked things out when, it's a tough day, whatever that is. Maybe it's, the crowd was light, or you had a big unexpected expense or a bunch of call-offs, or, how do you kind of manage that, and how do you kind of prop each other up?
So I feel that the good thing about, her also being in the industry, that she also knows what can happen and what can come. So obviously, she wants to succeed as much as I want to succeed. So she understands. She's more understanding than if I feel that they're like, if she wouldn't be in the restaurant business or her family wouldn't have been, I feel that it would have been harder for me to do what I'm doing right now because she would not have an idea on how hard it is. And I go home and I go upset and whatever. One, I'll be home late, right? Because there's, no coming in or going home early. You have to make sure you're there. Another one, I get home like, mad or with negative vibes. I mean, everybody feels that, So not just your wife, your kids, So I mean, you have to, try also by yourself not to mix work with like household or at your house, or like they say, leave work at work. The restaurant business, it's tough to do that because the show keeps on going, and I'm the type of guy, if things are not going good, I really believe that if you let things be the way they are and you don't change them, it's because you like where you are, and if you don't, it's a lot of work that goes into doing that. But yeah, I mean, I'm blessed that my wife has been in the restaurant business, and that's how she has been very understanding of everything that happens. If I ever need, let's say, a hostess, I have my hostess right there. With my brother-in-law, the same thing. I'm missing a server. We're busy. It just happened the other day, Mother's Day. Okay, one of my employees had an emergency. Mother's Day is one of the busiest days for restaurants.
Right.
And we were trying to show the love to our mamas, so we gave free meals to all the moms. So it got pretty busy.
Yeah.
I called up my brother-in-law. Hey, man, he was over there doing his thing at El Campesino. He came, he helped us out. He helped us with the rush. So having that type of support, I called my wife too. I mean, it kind of sucked because it was Mother's Day, but she came in, she helped us out, made a bunch of fresh squeezed margaritas or whatever people were asking for, got it handled, everything got to be smooth. And yeah, we all went home. We went and celebrated Mother's Day, and yeah, I mean, it was a normal thing for us because I mean, since we've been in this, we know that type of thing is going to be happening.
Yeah.
But also, it's very easy when you've been backed up by the community and blessed that it's like it's okay, we're doing well, because it could be the other way around.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
You have no money, and now that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great points, and it sounds like you're a blessed man to have strong support system, and great woman at home to support you, and I have the same, and I'm thankful for that. But I mean, it's like it's wave after wave, 7 days a week.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I respect the work you're doing. I know that it's not easy, and I think you've made a good case for that, and been real about what that experience has been. But also mention hey, there's been some high points along the way.
Oh yeah.
It's great to see the community come out.
Yes.
Making new friends, and and new you see repeat customers, and like you said, I mean, folks that haven't done it, I mean, what you said resonates with me from the standpoint of you create something and then you see people come out and they're enjoying it and they're bringing their friends, and there's just nothing better than that. I don't think that
No, there isn't.
seeing that something that you created is bringing joy to people. It's a place where people are coming to do their celebrating and having a good time. And it's great for the community, and it's great for building community.
Yep.
Restaurants are special places, but they're not easy
Yep.
to do well.
They're not. I mean, another thing that I love to hear is it's been a couple of times where we came from Tiffin. I don't even know where that's at here in Ohio, right? And I searched it and I saw how far it was. He's like, "Oh, we're here from Tiffin because we've heard about Taco Central." And how, oh man, I was like, honestly, I almost shed some tears right there because all that hard work. It's like, man, you guys are hearing it all the way over there. Like
awesome.
That's great, And then we had another person from Mansfield. We came from Mansfield. We heard about Taco Central, blah blah. We need a Taco Central in Mansfield. I'm like, oh man, like that just sounds great to hear. That people are enjoying your crazy idea that you had about, a Mexican American restaurant, and, you went out there and, you put everything on the line, and, it's coming back to you, it's working, and there's no better feeling than that. So,
yeah, that's awesome. What if any challenges has there been that maybe you didn't anticipate in going? I mean, it sounds like you went into this pretty eyes wide open.
Yes.
But you also, this was your first restaurant you personally owned. Right.
This is it's going to be my third one, but the last ones that I had, I mean, I sold them because you have business partners sometimes, which that's a thing that sometimes doesn't work out. Not everybody thinks the same.
Sure,
right?
sure, yeah.
And me being the person that I am, I know, how the competition is or whatever. Maybe I didn't see, or I wanted more or different. And, the other people, they're from the old school, like, I guess you can call it that. And they're like, oh, no, let's not do this because maybe people don't like that, or like waffle fries example. I mean, we go through tons of waffle fries. But if I would have told one of my partners in the other restaurant, say, hey, let's put waffle fries, he would have been like, dude, shut up or something, like he wouldn't even took me in consideration or whatever. So this is the first restaurant where everything created, it's mine, or with help of my wife and my brother-in-law, and it's a more modern, more different, laid back, like I said, Mexican American. We're not going to put on our sign we're authentic, because I don't think anybody is, so. But I mean, like I was telling you a while ago, I don't think people want cow tongue or
right, some of the truly authentic Mexican dishes.
I mean, I would. I love those things, but I don't know about everybody else.
Right,
so
right.
There's
what a lot of us know as quote Mexican is really kind of Americanized Mexican,
yes,
right?
Yes. You go to Mexico and you ask for a chimichanga, and you might not get what you expect, man. It might be a dog called chimichanga or something, like, oh, here he is, but so I mean, what we're trying to create here is a Mexican American restaurant, have authentic things, but also have fusion. You know, like I said, I love to cook. These cheesy tacos right here. I mean, you know, that's a little creation that we did. We're going to be bringing in the Philly, the Mexican Philly,
Okay. I
which
like it.
is, you know, like the Philly sandwich, but with our twist on it.
Okay. Yeah.
We're bringing in the XL dog, which is like a massive hot dog. We're going to put like corn and then tortilla chips. And we have like this like ranch sauce that we're going to put on it. And I mean, yeah, we want to be different, but we want to have great food and be different, you know, because, you know, we don't want to bring something out there that sounds weird and doesn't taste right, you know. So yeah, I mean, that's what we're trying to create here. A unique place that, you know, we feel proud that it's in Marion. We love Marion, you know. So we hope that, you know, the community, you know, is proud of us, and, you know, further down the road, you know, they can go to, let's say, I mean, Mansfield or wherever, and be like, yeah, Taco Central, like, you don't got nothing like that, you know, like, we want them to be proud of us, and yeah, continue on, you know, working. I know we have some flaws. I mean, for those people that went when we first opened, give us another chance, guys. We were starting off, it was a whole new concept. We were a little lost, but now we're finding ourselves, and we have fixed a lot of the problems, and we keep continuing on trying to get better. Like I said, we're looking for perfection, but I mean, that doesn't really exist, I don't think, in this, you know, restaurant world. But, you know, we want to be as close to it as possible.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Let's speak to that a little bit, because anyone that's ever launched a restaurant would tell you that those first like 2 to 3 weeks are just the hardest.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're training new staff, you're finding all the flaws in the procedures and things that you thought that you had figured out. You're over ordering some things and under ordering other things, and just really trying to understand the market. And people come in, and even the best laid plans, either there's a super long wait, or the service is slow, or things get forgotten about or overlooked because everyone's kind of just a little bit frazzled, right?
Yep.
I think that, to some extent, that part of that at least is unavoidable, right?
Yes.
But I think that something that's important, you know, what advice would you give to the people who they have that happen, and they hear that people walked out or were frustrated or upset, and, you know, you're at risk of those people not coming back? How do you own it, and how do you, you know, try to make that right?
So for that, I would say, you know, even the chains with massive amount of money, that have people that, you know, work on, you know, all their recipes and hiring people and training them and all that, even when they open, they have flaws. So imagine a small company with limited amount of money, you know, with a dream more than money, pretty much. That's how it goes. You know, imagine trying to get all that thing into one. I mean, it's very hard. But like I said, believe in yourself. Don't let those little things affect you. Like, somebody walked out. It does suck. It's very it's a scary thing to hear, because, like me, I have 2 kids, I have a mortgage, you know. I want to continue being able to provide what I need to provide for my family, right? So when you hear that, you're like, "Oh man, like, you know, these guys left, like," and then they leave a bad review, that's another thing, you know, that really affects you, you know. Maybe chains don't care, but small businesses, if you leave a bad review for a small business, you are hurting them, like, more than you think. Like, it's a bad thing, because, you know, they are dependent on your, like, the way that you saw, you know, the service, the food, whatever, and then you go put on there, and then some other people see, oh, they have, you know, 4 stars, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I understand when you just continue and don't fix your problems, you know, but for those people that have had that happen, just, know that that happened. Find a solution for it. You're not going to find it tomorrow. You're not going to find it the next day. It might take you a week or two, but fix those little problems. Write them down. Hit one by one. I mean, if you can hit two by two, whatever. But just focus on the things that you need to fix for that. For that not to happen again.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, like nothing is going to change itself. You have to be the one that changes, especially if you're the leader, if you're the manager, you're the person with the vision. You have to be constant on everybody to make sure you fix all your little problems or all the things that are going on. Because when you first open, you have a POS system, right? I'm not a computer guy, so I depend on the person that I got the POS system to have everything in the menu and the POS. You open, there's millions of, where's this at? Where's a button for this?
Right.
Where's a button for that? Oh man, there is not a button for this, so it's a lot of those things. Servers forgetting, oh, I put the wrong table. They took the food to the wrong table because I thought it was table number 3, but it was table number 5. So all those little things, And the bad thing about that, it's like a chain reaction. Once something goes bad on a busy night, it's a chain. But once you start fixing all those problems, that happens and you're prepared for it, it doesn't affect the rest of the customers as much anymore, So, I mean, and if like us, there's been moments where they order an appetizer. Some of the appetizer we have take longer to serve as like or like if you order a cheese dip, we can serve that pretty quick. But if you order like our street corn dip, that takes some time to make, right? So there's been moments where people receive it with the food or after the food came there. I've told my staff a million times, make sure that's out first before you take the food. But everybody's their own mind. Everybody, so you just got to keep on working hard until that doesn't happen, right? Yeah. But we own up to it. We don't charge you for it. Why? Because that was our mistake. We are the ones who messed up. So we're going to lose that money because we're going to own up to it. But that's okay because we're going to fix this problem, so there's moments where you're going to lose money, but at the end of the day, what matters is that the customer leaves happy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So looking at that as an investment in the person coming back versus, like you said, earlier, every penny counts, every dollar counts, but so does every customer. Yes. And the lifetime value of someone who's going to become a repeat customer that's going to say, hey, they messed some stuff up, but they made it right. Yeah. And we're going to give them another shot. Yeah. And then if they come back and it's a flawless experience because you worked the bugs out, because you did all the things that you talked about, then hopefully they're going to be a customer for life.
Yes.
And the other thing I've seen that people that get this right, in my opinion, is that they're really they own it, publicly, on social media and stuff too, to say, hey, you all that were in here tonight, things got a little crazy. Wait times were longer than what we want. That's not, we're working hard to fix this. Give us another shot. And I think that people respect that. Yes. And it takes checking your ego a little bit, right? Yeah. To have to say publicly, like, hey, we weren't as good as what we thought we were. We weren't as prepared as what we thought we were. But we're trying to get better. Yep. And I think that having that humility and being able to really be serious about getting better, most people are going to come back around.
Yep. I mean, it's, if you have somebody that didn't have a good experience and then they go back and the exact same thing happens, I mean, if it does happen, but they see that there was like a slight change, hopefully they see that slight change and be like, okay, well, this time this didn't happen. So they're getting better, because I mean, like I said, it's tough. You got to think about, we're all our own person in this world, right? And a lot of people that, you have working for you, I I kind of wish there was like something that I could do where I could show them, the passion and what I have to lose and what I want to gain so they could feel it, and every time they pour that draft beer, they don't spill that much. Every time they, take a dessert or whatever, it looks nice, like I see everything, like everything that's served, I see it, everything like, and try to correct it. But I mean, there's so many things that, you don't catch everything, but I try to catch as much as possible. It's hard work, but you know, I want to show my employees also like I'm seeing, what you're doing and I need you to see it the same way that I do. And it's like I tell my staff every month we have a little meeting and we do our pros and we do our cons, We get a lot of love on Facebook with some more posts and stuff. I let them see that. And I tell them, thank you guys, like, thank you for, showing us, the way that we want to be presented. Like, these comments here, they're not because of me, they're because of all you guys,
Right.
because I mean, I could have an idea, but if I don't have people that, have my back on the idea, then my idea is nothing. I could pull it off to a certain extent, but I mean, I'm not going to do it by myself. So I feel very grateful for the staff that I have because, I mean, if you're going to open up a restaurant, you might go through a lot of people, but once you find the people that, are willing to give 110% for your vision and your business, it's going to become easier. And I'm not saying you're going to be sitting back, relaxing, but it's just going to get easier. Like me, I have days off, supposedly, right? But in those days off, I get, I mean, 4 or 5 calls, and they always like, oh, I'm sorry, like my assistant manager, I'm sorry to bother you. Dude, I don't care. Call me as many times as you need to call me because I appreciate you doing that and trying to figure out, what needs to be done to better something or to have the correct answer for something that went wrong, So it's okay. I don't know about you, but I do want to enjoy my family. That does bring me out of like the relaxing mode, and like brings like I'm thinking about what he told me or whatever. It's like if I was at work, but it's okay, man. We've been blessed. We've been blessed by the community. We're doing very well. We're 6 months in, which I mean, sometimes I forget, because I'm like, man, how many months have we been in this thing? Like, has it been a year? No, but so yeah, but I mean, I feel that 6 months in, we're doing pretty well. The community has our back. We hope that further down the road, we can give more than just like a free meal for kids or, little things like that. We hope we can, I mean, we know a lot of our community, doesn't have a lot of the resources they need. We're hoping to be able to create something where, we can give back to the community in those ways where, we can make a change to something, even if it's something small, so,
Yeah. Well, yeah, certainly, something great to aspire to, but also know that you're doing a lot for the community by creating the place that you did. And it takes a lot of courage to step out and do this kind of thing. So we sure appreciate you and Brenda and Emanuel bringing Taco Central to downtown Marion, and we're excited for the future. As you look around and you see the growth and new places opening, like what excites you as you think about the future?
So like you said, all the good changes that I see, I'm also very thankful for you that, you've done a lot of things for downtown. I mean, I'm there every day. Every day I'm downtown and I can see, at first I didn't see too many things, but now that I'm there all the time, I see a lot of the good changes that, everybody's bringing to downtown. I mean, all the new businesses, Ray's, I'm very grateful that they're here. I'm very grateful that they decided to open one of their restaurants here. And, us, I mean, I don't know if you've seen, but we like to, exchange shirts with other, local businesses.
Right. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Talk a little bit about that. So if people haven't seen your Facebook posts or whatever.
So what we did when we first opened, I mean, we already kind of had the mindset of helping everybody else out, because we believe that, the more unified we are downtown, because it's all local businesses, all mom and pop shops, um, you know, we know that if we work together, we're going to be stronger than if everybody works individually. I don't know if you've seen Planet of the Apes, where the monkey has the sticks, and he gets one stick, he breaks it, and he says, "One monkey weak," and then he grabs a bunch of the sticks and he tries to break it. He's like, "A bunch of monkeys strong." Hey, man, I mean,
There you
it's
go.
that little thing right there inspired me. I was like, "Yep,
I
yep."
love it.
All the monkeys together are stronger. So, what we did was we started talking to the local business downtown. You want to exchange some shirts. We'll give you our Taco Central shirts and you give us yours. We try to wear them every Friday and Saturday, which are our busiest days, to give exposure to that, little mom and pop shop or whatever. I mean, like I said, we've been blessed. So, Fridays and Saturdays are pretty busy. So, that's when people can see, like the little business that maybe they didn't know that existed downtown, So, and I mean, there's more stuff that we want to do with the local businesses. I mean, I've thought about millions of ideas. It's just getting there is the problem, having
Sure.
time, But I mean, I really want to jump on board with helping, make downtown Marion like way better than it already is, and helping the next guy. Another thing that we're having, I haven't posted it yet, so an exclusive here, on
There
your
you go.
podcast
Love
is
it.
so we're going to have vendors come in. They're gonna, put their little shops in our patio
Okay.
on the
Yeah.
weekends. We're not going to charge them. We're not going to make anything off of them. But it's all about helping the next guys. So the way that we can help is by, letting them, set up there. Maybe they will sell one or two, three things, but we want them to be able to have a place to where, they get exposure. Because I mean, when you're first starting in your business like that, I imagine that it's very hard. And then I've heard stories where they want to charge you like a 30-40% to, and me being a small business owner, I've gone through a lot of things. So I was talking to one of my employees. They have their little business. She sells candles, and I have let her set up before at the restaurant, and she was telling me, how good she did and how happy she was and all that. So that's where I was like, you know what? Why don't we get more? We set them up at the patio. They can do their thing, and I feel that's another unique way to bring more people to downtown Marion and help out the community. So we're always thinking about how to help the next person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's great. So, I mean, I think that the collaboration and those opportunities to just support other businesses, that comes back around in big ways. So if there's people out there that are trying to build community, they're trying to promote their business and help the other businesses in their downtown or whatever. It's critical to have great relationships with your neighbors, and people are often surprised when I say, hey, the more restaurants we get downtown, the better it's going to help the existing restaurants do. And people are sometimes surprised that seems paradoxical, but it's like, no, actually, when you're known for having great restaurants, for having unique places, people create habits around going to downtown Marion. And so, if Taco Central is having a big night and there's a long wait, maybe they, bop down to Attaboy's or to Amato's or to Ray Ray's or to Marcelo's.
We have heard that.
Yeah.
We've heard, oh, you guys are so, the other people like the Mottos, there's a lady that worked there that she's like, yeah, you guys, brought people to, you guys had a long wait. Hey man, I'm so happy,
Exactly.
for that. Cause that's a way of helping other, like I said, I want all of us to stick together downtown. I don't want it to be like, this is you, and everybody does their own thing. Which if there's any local businesses downtown Marion, Dora, let's work on Dora, guys. We can do a lot with Dora. It's a very unique thing that we have here downtown Marion. Let's get together and work on a plan, and yeah. do something with that door, because we can make all our community have a lot of fun, and make a downtown Marion a better place.
Yeah. There's opportunities all around. I mean, truly, it's just a matter of identifying them, working together, and working hard. I mean, this all takes hard work.
It does.
But I think with passionate people, we can do a lot. So I think that's a good place to wrap it up. I'm sure we could keep talking all day, especially if you keep the tacos flowing. But
the margarita, man.
we'll call it a day today. Okay. And but before we do, I do want to give you an opportunity to just share a little bit more about how folks can find you and follow you.
Okay.
And again, invite them in here.
So, I mean, we do have our Facebook page. It's Facebook/ Taco Central Ohio. That's how you would find us on Facebook. If not, we're on 142 North Main Street here, downtown Marion. So yeah, guys. I mean, we really focus on you guys. Experiencing good food, good service, and a relaxed environment. So, I know, when we first started off, maybe half of those things weren't there, but now they're there. So yeah, just give us another chance. This patio, hopefully it stops raining. We can get this patio fixed up, because we want to have one of the best patios downtown Marion. It's going to be hard, because I know there's other businesses that have really beautiful ones, but we're going to try to have ours, and make it relaxing, and a place where you can drink tacos and margaritas and have a bunch of fresh air in your face and just enjoy summer, because we all know, man, the summer is like 2 months, I think, or something like that.
It goes fast.
Yeah, and even less now, since we're out of May, and like, what was it, like the 30th the other day, and like it was like 50 degrees. I was like, what, we're getting cheated here. So we're working on that patio, having a bunch of vegetation out there, trying to make it like real earthy and relaxing for you guys, and all that good stuff. So give us a chance if you haven't tried us out. If you tried us out and don't follow us on Facebook. Leave a comment. We're always watching these comments. We love when people put if they had a good experience on there. And guys, hopefully we can create something bigger and better for you guys. And like I said, at the same time, help out the community and become best friends. Yep, that's pretty much it.
Good stuff. Well, Al, thanks again for coming with gifts. Thanks for sharing your story and more about kind of behind the scenes. I think that people are going to learn a lot from this. And if you haven't been in, I certainly can speak from firsthand experience that you'll be glad that you spent some time in Taco Central. So, friends of the podcast here, thanks again for tuning in. Hope that you'll come back next week for another great interview, and we'll see you then. Thanks for listening to the Main Street Reimagined podcast. To learn more about Main Street Reimagined, Henry Development Group, or our work in downtown Marion, Ohio, please visit mainstreetreimagined.com. If you want to connect, or if you know someone who we need to interview, shoot us an email at info@mainstreetreimagined.com. Until next time, keep dreaming and don't be afraid to take the leap.